to get up clickbait, huh? Alright. I guess anything else? I get sued all the time. Y'all, stop it.
New drama tonight involving a controversial politician in the south suburbs. Tiffany Henyard was the only Thornton Township leader to...
We've all seen political drama unfold, but what happened with Mayor Tiffany Henyard takes it to a whole new level. Imagine the mayor being arrested right in the middle of a meeting after causing total chaos and being forced to be removed by authorities. That's exactly what happened at the latest Dalton Village board meeting. What started as a routine gathering turned into a spectacle so dramatic it could rival any TV show. Only this was all real and happening live in Dalton, Illinois. Yes, you read that right. The situation was so wild that the live broadcast of the meeting was abruptly cut off. What followed was pure chaos, leaving viewers and attendees speechless. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, no stranger to controversy, has had an ongoing strained relationship with the village trustees for months. If you've been following local news, you know that there's been constant friction over everything, from decisions and appointments to policy disagreements. However, at this particular meeting, things took a turn for the worse in a way no one anticipated. The drama centered around some questionable spending by the mayor, which sent shockwaves through the community. Eyewitnesses described the atmosphere as electric, with tension so thick it was almost palpable. It felt like everyone in the room knew something was about to go down, something big. The board had moved the meeting to the local Park District building due to the growing crowds that had turned these government gatherings into must-see events. Village Hall could no longer accommodate the surge of citizens. Some were genuinely concerned about the town's future, while others seemed drawn by the spectacle of the political chaos surrounding the mayor from the get-go. Mayor Henyard wasn't interested in following the usual meeting protocol. She threw the rule book out the window, asserting herself with a level of defiance and dramatic flair that could have come straight from a reality TV show. The atmosphere was set, and the town's ongoing political saga continued in full force. Tensions between the mayor and the trustees reached a boiling point during the meeting. Henyard once again seemed to be playing to the crowd rather than trying to resolve any real issues. It was clear she wasn't interested in the usual norms of governance. The question on many people's minds was whether her actions were part of a calculated power play or just another example of her refusal to play by the rules of leadership. Regardless, the spectacle left many residents questioning whether her leadership was sustainable, especially as the town faced growing problems. Dalton, once just a quiet community, had become known more for its political theater than its ability to solve problems. Henyard's controversial leadership style only amplified this, leaving the public to wonder if the town would ever be able to address its issues. While the mayor seemed to thrive on the chaos surrounding her, what was once a normal village meeting had now become a symbol of Dalton's dysfunction. With the mayor's unpredictable behavior continuing to push the town deeper into crisis, at the heart of the drama was the mounting concern over the mayor's ability to lead effectively. As her actions grew more erratic, residents began to question her priorities, whether she could still govern, or if the spectacle had completely overshadowed her ability to lead. It became increasingly clear that the political drama in Dalton was far from over. With every passing meeting, the mayor's position seemed more precarious, and the future of the town was left hanging.
Invoices lead to more questions, and sometimes we don't get answers to those questions. And so it's not about clickbait, it's about just making...
Instead of attending the scheduled meeting with the trustees at the Park District building, Mayor Tiffany Henyard made a bold and controversial move. She held her own meeting back at Village Hall. It was a defiant gesture, almost as if she wanted to remind everyone that she was still in charge, running things her way no matter what anyone else thought. However, her plan didn't go as expected. What followed was enough to make anyone want to run screaming. Only 2 trustees showed up to her impromptu gathering, far short of the quorum needed to legally conduct a meeting. With no quorum, Henyard had no choice but to cancel her self-declared session. An embarrassing setback for someone trying to assert dominance, but Henyard wasn't ready to back down. Determined to make her presence felt, she jumped into her car and drove straight to the Park District building, where the trustees were continuing their meeting, which had been proceeding smoothly without her. What happened next was nothing short of dramatic. Henyard stormed into the meeting, disrupting the proceedings and drawing all attention to herself. What would have been an intense but functional gathering quickly spiraled into chaos as her unexpected arrival stole the spotlight. "Hello? Hello?" she proclaimed, causing a stir among the trustees and attendees alike. Once again, the political theater in Dalton was in full swing. The room, already thick with tension, erupted into confusion as Henry took center stage, refusing to play by anyone else's rules. Her dramatic entrance highlighted her contentious leadership style, one defined by disruption and defiance, leaving many in the room and in the community at large wondering if Dalton's political drama would ever reach a resolution. As the dust began to settle, the situation only worsened. The growing divide between Henyard and the trustees became increasingly apparent, with the town's residents caught in the middle of an escalating power struggle. The chaos was compounded by a temporary restraining order that had been issued against the mayor, preventing her from making certain appointments without the board's approval. This added a legal complication to her already fragile position, further isolating her from the very government she was supposed to lead when Henyard entered the room. The tension spiked instantly, almost palpably. An electric charge rippled through the crowd, with residents visibly reacting to her unexpected appearance. Many were exasperated by her antics and controversial leadership style, and their frustration was evident. Some attendees even turned their backs on her as she entered, a stark, silent gesture of disapproval that spoke louder than words. Undeterred and ever-dramatic, Henyard approached the microphone with an air of defiance, proclaiming, "I am the mayor of the village of Dalton." As if to reassert her authority in a room that clearly wasn't having it. But before she could continue, her outburst was met with a wave of resentment. The crowd's reaction only further highlighted the deepening rift between her and the trustees. This incident, far from strengthening her position, only served to widen the divide within Dalton's government, leaving the town on edge and wondering how this political drama would ultimately unfold. The room exploded in boos and shouts, drowning out Henry's declaration with a wall of sound fueled by anger, frustration, and sheer exhaustion. The uproar was immediate and unrelenting, a visceral reaction from residents who felt ignored, misled, and increasingly burdened by the fallout from Henyard's controversial tenure. Her attempt to commandeer the meeting only inflamed the already volatile situation. With attendees openly challenging her presence and motives, it was clear they were fed up. What started as an ordinary trustees meeting quickly devolved into a chaotic spectacle with Henyard at the center, a polarizing figure whose actions only seemed to widen the already vast gulf between her and the people she claimed to represent. The room became a battleground of words and gestures, highlighting the escalating frustrations of a community desperate for accountability and effective leadership. Henyard's dramatic entrance and the crowd's hostile response underscored the extent to which trust had eroded under her administration. Many were left wondering if reconciliation or resolution was even possible. As Dalton continued to grapple with its deepening divisions amid the chaos, the temporary restraining order was a stark reminder of her weakening position. It blocked her from making key appointments without board approval, further deepening the tension and pushing the mayor even further to the edge. Witnesses recall a scene of pure chaos as Henyard tried to take control of the volatile meeting, only to have her efforts drowned out by shouting, boos, and overwhelming public disapproval. Determined to assert her authority, she attempted to speak over the uproar, demanding respect and declaring the meeting itself illegal. Her goal, she loudly proclaimed, was to make key appointments, including naming a new police chief, but her words were lost in the deafening clamor of an audience that was clearly uninterested in anything she had to say. The tension in the room became unbearable as Henry struggled to maintain her composure. The noise, frustration, and outright hostility proved insurmountable. She lasted only 7 minutes before being forced to leave the room, effectively booed out by the very people she claimed to serve. What followed was nothing short of pandemonium. Henyard stormed out of the building, visibly enraged by the crowd's rejection. The situation quickly spiraled out of control as reports began circulating that Henyard, incensed by the public humiliation, had allegedly gotten physical. One of the officials present at this altercation only added fuel to the fire, escalating the already volatile atmosphere and raising tensions to an all-time high. Police who had been strategically stationed nearby in anticipation of trouble quickly intervened to restore order. But what happened next shocked everyone present. Mayor Tiffany Henyard, the self-declared supermayor of Dalton, Illinois, was arrested. The arrest marked an astonishing turn of events.